you because the tour will not be coming back to this building, and there's a whole bunch of people waiting to come in right behind us. So make sure you have everything. If anybody would like a map of the National Park area, I put a big stack here on the windowsill. You can help yourself on the way out if you'd like one of those. And before we go, does anybody have any questions? Everybody just glad to be sitting down.
Yeah.
Follow me. Come on up, everybody. We're going to start over here. If you spread out, you'll have a better view. Please allow the shorter folks up front, and that's not just children. Come on up, guys. Come on in, everybody. If you spread out, you'll have a better view. Come on in, everybody. Oh, appreciate it. Okay, folks, if you spread out, you'll have a better view. Okay, come in. Now, before I have something very important to tell everybody in the front row. Please make sure one thing that you do not put knees or eat through the railing, because people get stuck here all the time. And it's really hard to get you back out again. Okay, now as we said a moment ago, this was built as the main government building for the colony of Pennsylvania. Now because of that, the different rooms here are set up as different functions for the colony. And this side of the building that we're in right now was the Supreme Court for the colony of Pennsylvania. Now this is very much a British courtroom from that time period. But once we became the United States, we pretty much kept most of the British court system. So if you take a look around, a lot of these things we still have in our courtrooms today, but there are a few big exceptions here, and this cage is about the biggest one. Now anybody want to guess who'd be standing here? The accused. Now this is called the prisoner's dock. And whoever was on trial had to stand locked in this thing all throughout their trial, and they were not allowed to sit down. Now you all know how that feels, right? Now if you ever hear today when they say somebody's going to have to stand trial, this is where it comes from. Back then you really stood. Now these big brown boxes here on either side, these are the jury boxes, and there are 3 of them here. And that's because they could be using either of 2 kinds of juries. Either a grand jury of 24 people, they got the 2 big boxes, or a regular 12-person trial jury who would use the smaller box up towards the front there. Now in the back here on the raised platform, that's where you'd find the judges. It could be anywhere between 1 and 5 judges up there. It all depended on how serious a crime you were accused of. The more serious the crime, the more judges you would see up there. Now lawyers all sat together back then, both sides at one table, right here below the judges in the front, with the court clerk on one side, and over here is the bailiff at the wooden table on the other side. Now the box over near the staircase is the witness stand. That name you could probably guess the witness had to stand. You guys are getting the hang of this. That's why it's called the witness stand. Now that box is raised up on the inside of it, so you could be up higher. That's so everybody could hear what you had to say, but you did have to stand all throughout your testimony. Now the railing in the front we would have seen back then as well. This railing separates the courtroom area from the spectator area. These were public trials, which meant anybody could come in and watch what was going on. They'd stand right where you are now. And if this was a big, interesting trial, people would fill in not only this room, but the hallway back there as well. And that's why it's all open behind you, to accommodate big crowds. Now this building back then could hold close to 300 people to watch a trial. And lots of people came out to see these things. It was kind of a form of entertainment to see which of your neighbors was in trouble. Now, it sounds a little odd, but we're still doing that today in this country, only with television. So that really hasn't changed too much. Now, they do have lots of rights as British citizens back then, especially in a courtroom like this. Now, even though you're here in a cage, what do you guys think? Do I look guilty in this? No, the kids say no. The kids say no. I know, it's kind of hard to look innocent in a cage, isn't it? But even though you're in this thing, you may not look it, but you are innocent until proven guilty. You're entitled to a trial by a jury of your peers, and you're entitled to have a lawyer. All the same rights we have today, because we kept the system after independence was declared. And that's because of the colonial people. They really didn't have too many problems with the courts. It's with the king and parliament and their policies that they're upset with. So when they feel these rights they have are being taken away, that's when they're willing to break from Britain, and that happened in the room right across the hall. So if everybody would like to turn around, head on over. We'll continue the story on the other side, and you can take photographs here. He wasn't too much in the song.